Today on Big Brother Rewind, the Quack Pack finally vote Frank out of the house. We're down to the final 5. Will they start turning on each other? And is Ian the strongest player in the game? All this and more on this week's Big Brother Rewind.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Big Brother Rewind. We're approaching the end of this season of Big Brother. And since we're approaching the end, it's funny, everybody's starting to disappear. Jessica's not here today. Colm is also not feeling well. He'll be joining us next week. I think everybody's going to be joining us next week. But it's me and John.
How's it going?
How's it going? How's everything?
It's a chaotic last 2 weeks here.
Yeah. Last week we were not able to make it. The schedule's kind of shifting for us too. As it shifts for Big Brother, the schedule also shifts for us at the GFQ Network, and we're doing this live on a Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday early evening here on the East Coast. But John and I are going to be running through things that have been happening in the house. It's the final 5. I don't think anybody expected this as the final 5.
No, it was really interesting, the fact that, because there were some people wondering whether or not we'd actually end up with one person from each team or not.
And have we?
We have not.
We have not, no.
We've got Shane, which is from Brittany's team, Jenn and Ian, which are from Mike's team, Danielle from Dan's team, and there's nobody from Janelle's team left.
Janelle's team is gone, yeah.
There was Joe, but then he got kicked out last week, so.
So we have, interesting group. I mean, I forgot what my original pick was, but I think I had said Shane, and Shane was in it, right? Shane and Danielle.
I think we all kind of had Shane in there. I can look it up real quick for you.
Yeah, look it up, because I'm curious to see who I had initially thought would be in this group. I know Shane I had initially. I think I might be down to Shane only. Shane and Danielle.
Your last 4 picks were Frank, Ian, Brittany, and Dan.
Okay,
originally you had Shane, Danielle, Will, and Frank.
Shane, so I'm down to Shane, and let's go with the original. Shane and Danielle.
Of course you want to go with the original.
Yeah, that's the one I have the most. Shane and Danielle, I mean, interesting, because they tried to make them into like the Jeff and Jordan of this season.
Yeah,
and Danielle was a total waste. I mean, she was not likable at all.
Nutcase.
Yeah, she was not likable at all.
No,
I know they wanted her to be liked. They just couldn't get me to like her. I like Dan. I like Shane. I like Ian. I cannot stand Jenn. I actually would be happy.
Absolutely worthless.
Yeah, I would be happy if Ian, Dan, and Shane won. Those 3 I'd be pretty happy with if they won this season.
All right, so then we want to pick our final 3?
Yeah, let's do final 3.
All right, so your final 3 are...
Well, my final 3 are different this week. My final 3 will be... actually, my final 3 is Ian, Jenn, and Shane.
Ian, Jenn, Shane.
That's my final 3.
That's your final 3. All right, let me see.
Because you have to. Well, why don't we run down things that have happened before we get to what I think will happen? It was a double eviction again. They had a double eviction last week. Frank went home 3-1. He was pissed off. I mean, he was really angry.
I think was the only person that voted to keep Frank in there.
Yeah, Dan.
It was Frank against Joe.
Dan won the quickie HOH, and Ian and Joe go up on the block. Ian was the target. He was Dan's target. Ian was the one that was supposed to go home. Interestingly enough, Dan wanted to initially nominate Shane, but Danielle talked them out of it.
Right, because Dan's 2 biggest targets left in the house are, of course, Ian and Shane.
But you know what's interesting? Danielle has the best odds of winning because both Dan and Shane are saving her.
Yeah.
It's this weird.
It could be. She might possibly in the next couple rounds of evictions get evicted.
You think so?
She might not be safe. She might be put up as one of those persons that
they just have to go home.
Yeah, they just have to go home.
Why her and not Jenn?
I think, you see, those are the two people that I don't understand why they're still there.
Well, I could understand why Danielle is there, because Danielle was protected by everybody. Everybody protected Danielle throughout the entire season. But
she's
Jenn
added absolutely nothing to the season.
Yeah,
at all.
Jenn had nobody.
And in fact, I actually think Danielle is a little bit more like Rachel than Jordan.
In what way?
In the sense that she's freaking crazy.
Yeah, we know that.
She's just not likable. I mean, she's got the only thing I really see in Danielle that's comparable to Jordan is that she's got the Southern thing going for her. But that's it.
Yeah, well, that's what they tried to do. But I'm surprised Jenn has made it so far because, Florida's get to a certain level, but they're the target because they floated through so much.
We had so many floaters this year.
Do you feel that it was because we had so many strong players that the floaters kind of were able to go under the radar because all the strong players were targeting themselves?
I don't know. It was different because for the first month we had coaches kind of running everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I think Will, Joe, Ashley, Kara, Jody, JoJo, and Jenn. That's like 5 people right there. They were all basically floaters.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that she made it this far. I don't think it's deserved by any means. I don't think she deserved to make it this far. I guess
it's weird because on one hand, do you call them a floater even though they have actually won competitions?
Yeah, but I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't think she's likable. I don't think she's done any major moves. No. I think she's won on circumstances. And I don't know. I don't feel that if she's, what else could possibly come into play? I mean, she could have a good chance of winning because everybody has turned on somebody at some point in the game. And it all depends on who the jury house is gonna vote for. That also is coming into play now. A lot of your moves will impact your voting. So you have to nominate people.
She hasn't made any moves. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. I think she has the best odds.
Until last week or the week before that, when she started to align herself with Frank, she had absolutely no alliance and no business in the game at all.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
I think she went basically 6-7 weeks without doing a damn thing.
Well, that might be the best thing.
She wasn't even on the show. Like, if you watch the feeds whatsoever, she was, like, barely on there.
Well, she was barely on the CBS show, too. I mean, I would forget that she's in the house.
Yeah.
They would just put a camera. I'm like, oh, she's still there. I forgot. But what also bothers me...
Or is that a bad thing to be a floater like that?
I think for her, it's a great thing. I think she's played... Well, I'm going to contradict myself. I think she's played a great game because she never got involved. Her HOHs didn't really create enemies. Her POVs didn't create enemies. Did she? She had HOH once, right?
No,
she had POV. She got a POV.
POV once. That was it.
Her POV, and also that also comes into play is because she really never had an HOH, so she wasn't able to kind of make a move to piss people off. I think certain people had to become HOH to save themselves. I would never want to be HOH unless I have to be. Unless I have to evict someone that will affect me in the game, that is the only time I would want to be HOH. I would never want to be HOH in that house because the second you become HOH, you're always pissing someone off and you're picking a side.
Well, of course, and I think Ian was doing a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, until the end.
Until recently, which I think in a way was kind of important for him to actually be HOH. Because in a way, it was a lose-lose situation for him. He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If he doesn't become HOH, somebody's going to vote him out.
Yeah.
But if he becomes HOH, he's going to piss off somebody.
So Danielle, I guess we'll go down the list. Replacement. Where am I? Hold on. Here we go. I'm trying to go down the notes because so much happened. Frank went home. Yeah, we said
Dan
that.
Won the quickie HOH.
Dan won the quickie. Wanted to put up Shane. Danielle convinced him not to put up Shane. Replacement nominees was Ian and Joe. Ian and Joe, actually not replacement, but Ian and Joe were the nominees. Ian is the target that week.
Right. And this is during the double eviction.
This is during a double eviction.
Live on Thursday.
Ian wins veto. Replacement nominee is Danielle. Danielle was not too happy with this.
You should have seen Ian freaking out, too. Like, he knew he had to win that. This is not a kid that's dumb by any means whatsoever. He knows exactly what's going on.
He knew
He's watched every single season of Big Brother and knows them by heart, by day, basically, which you saw in the next HOH competition.
So, veto comp, Ian wins. Danielle and Joe are up. Joe goes home.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to vote Danielle out.
Did Joe know he was going home? Do you think he knew, or do you think he had a chance?
I think he had an idea that, he's been on the block quite a few times now. Other than Frank, he's the most person to be nominated. And given the fact that, if you look at it, he just didn't have a strong relationship to any of the other house guests compared to Danielle.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So HOH time, the real HOH for the week. Ian wins HOH. After winning POV, now he wins HOH. In a tiebreaker round.
Competition proves he just how much he knows about Big Brother, because it was all set up where they had a name and move a ball down a ramp and guess what day an event occurred. Like, what day was Willie expelled from the Big Brother house? And he knew basically every single one by day. And the only factor with him not getting the exact day was the skill involved in moving this ball down and getting into the right numbered slot. I mean, if it was just based on them saying the correct number of day that an event occurred, he would have won hands down easily.
So now Ian is HOH, and what does he do? This is a very important time for Ian, because whatever move he makes will affect his votes if he makes it to the final two.
Right, because you've got the Quack Pack in there, plus Jenn. So you're going to have to put up one of your own members from your own alliance.
Yeah.
That's just it. When you're down to 5 people and you have a 4-person alliance, you're going to have to kind of turn on each other. There's just no way around it.
I mean, at this point,
to do something.
At this point, the alliances kind of break unless you have a final 2 deal.
Right.
I mean, that's the only time.
But even in final 2 deals, do you trust Dan when he says final 2?
You don't trust anybody at that point.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust anybody in that house at all.
No.
I don't know. What's funny? Dan is a good player. Dan has done this before, and he's won. So I would not trust Dan.
Yeah, but he's playing a different game.
You think so than last time?
Yeah, because he had other people to rely on.
Yeah.
And in this game, he doesn't have the same strong... He doesn't have a partner in crime, basically.
Well, he was the first one to be gone. I mean, his team was knocked out. He had one person left.
Right.
Who was on his team? It was awful.
On his team was...
Kara.
Yeah. Jody. And Danielle.
Well, Danielle's the only one, yeah. I mean, he was gone. I mean, he was doing bad, and I would have seen him out.
Frankly, I don't think Danielle would have been there if Shane hadn't helped protect her either.
Yeah, Shane saved her ass a couple times. So let's go into the Pandora's box. Ian there was a TV that showed a photo of Ian's parents, and it said...
the words, messages from someone who loves you.
Yeah.
And of course, Ian assumes that this is going to be a video message from his parents.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not.
It's not.
He walks in there and instead he gets a video message from Rachel Riley from Big Brother 12 and 13, and he's just not happy about it.
So what his reaction was great because I don't, this is the first time I've ever seen him like not expect something.
Yeah.
And he got a message from Rachel who advised him on how she won Big Brother. And the rest of the house got messages from actual people who love him. Shane's sister, Jen's mom, Dan's wife, Danielle's sister. So they actually got messages while Ian got to hear Rachel.
Oh, it was so absurd and obnoxious. Like she's gotten worse and more annoying. But I think that was kind of the whole point of the video. But it was just like, this is how I won by laughing all the time and talking about Brendan.
Yeah, she
kill me now.
I found it funny that she won that year.
I don't understand how she won. Like, why would anybody want to vote her the winner? Like, she was just annoying. I'd rather Brendan win than her.
Yeah.
Brendan is more likable than Rachel.
Well, I would love to see what Brendan's game would have been like without Rachel.
Yeah.
That would have been a very interesting game. So, at this point, who does Ian put up? Ian nominates Shane.
Are we down to the spoilers now?
Nominations.
Yeah, these are spoilers.
Yes,
now,
yes, yeah.
Because I don't think we haven't seen.
We haven't seen it. Yeah, so let's move on because.
We did see.
No, we did see the nominations.
We did see nominations on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then spoilers after that.
Yeah, nominations are Shane and Jenn.
Right.
I mean, strategically smart. Either one goes out. I mean, I think that's one of the smartest things he could have done, and that's a very intelligent nomination. And the reason why I say that is because Shane is a great player, and there's a good chance that people are going to vote for him to win if he makes it to the final two. And
I think you absolutely have to nominate either Shane or Dan.
Well, and I'll tell you why Jenn has not made any enemies.
Right.
So she has a chance of winning. She has a really good chance of winning if she makes it to the final two because she hasn't pissed off anybody.
Right.
So it's smart. He's being smart because either or that goes home will save him if he's final two.
The fact that she really was absent and not really making relationships, that doesn't hurt her when it comes time for those in the jury house to vote the winner?
I think it does, but it also depends on how much you pissed off someone. Like, I don't think Frank is going to vote for Shane.
Well, of course not.
I don't think Frank is going to vote for Dan.
Yeah. But see, I think if Ian ends up being in the final two, I could see Frank and Mike Boogie voting for him just out of respect for his gameplay.
Yeah. Because he didn't turn on any, I mean, he politicked, obviously, but he didn't really make any major enemies in that sense.
I don't. Sure? You don't think that backdooring and getting masterminding this whole thing of getting Mike out?
Yeah, but but I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, will that affect him?
I think Boogie would respect him.
Boogie,
for that,
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's going to piss him off.
But you know what, Boogie? I can see Boogie saying like, "Oh, you know what? He got me out. I'm going to vote for him because he worked hard and he's a smart kid." And that would change everybody else's vote that was thinking, well, he kind of turned on Boogie.
Right. Plus, Ian was originally on Boogie's team.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think he has that on his side. And who knew he'd make it this far? Who knew?
Yeah. I mean, he was even saying it this week that he thought he was a goner that first week because everybody didn't seem to like him very much. And then he was surprised that he was not nominated and that he stuck it out this far. Like, he never thought he'd make it this far in Big Brother ever.
Yeah. So let's go into some spoilers because this is where it gets really interesting. You want to go into them?
Yeah, let me scroll down here. So we have the POV competition, and I think everybody plays in it because there's not enough people left. Shane wins POV.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought you froze.
No,
yeah.
I was waiting for you to respond.
Oh, no. Shane won POV, and this was the greatest thing that could happen for him.
Oh, absolutely, because now he gets to see himself on the block. I mean, of course he's going to use it on himself. Or doesn't he?
Very interesting.
If Shane uses the power of veto on himself, who does Ian nominate?
Yeah, I mean, it's a major risk because he could say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to use it for myself, but Jenn is the target. get Jenn out. Because let's see, if it's Shane and Jenn, who has the votes to stay?
Well, what if Shane takes himself off the block and Ian nominates Danielle?
Well, let me just say this.
If Shane takes himself off the block and nominates Danielle, there goes somebody that's definitely going to vote for you in the next couple of competition and evictions.
Yeah, let me just say
that's
this.
A guaranteed vote.
If it's Shane and Jenn on the block, Danielle will definitely vote for Shane. Dan, I don't know who he'll vote for. I mean, there's a good chance he might vote for Shane, but I mean, there's a good chance he might vote for Jenn. And it'll be a split vote, and Ian will probably evict Shane.
Yeah. I think the smart thing would be if Shane does end up using the power of veto, would be to put up Dan. Like I said, I think Shane and Dan are the next two people that are the biggest targets in the house. One of them needs to go. And I would be more concerned about getting Dan out than I would be Shane.
Yeah.
Just because Dan has proven himself to be quite a manipulator and dictator in the house. Like he's good at manipulating people.
Okay, so let me just see.
Shane, on the other hand, is not nearly as good as Dan as far as getting people to do his bidding.
Yeah. So have we seen replacements?
We have not.
We have. It's like any moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, all this is supposed to be taking place today because there's this big schedule change where they're actually taping Wednesday's episode today, and they're actually evicting somebody today to air Wednesday. And then they'll do another HOH comp and veto competition and evict somebody live on Thursday.
By the way,
we've got 5 people left.
Let me just say, Boogie's not in the jury house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why we thought that. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, there's 5 people left. So for the last week, we can only have 3 people. So we obviously have 2 people that we got to get rid of this week.
Yeah, so who do you get rid of? I mean, do you think he's going to use his veto?
You know, I honestly don't know. The smart thing, of course, would be to use it. And who cares if Danielle goes up? At this point, it's every man for themselves.
Yeah, but then he's left with nobody because everybody's going to target him. Dan is not going to align with him.
Then again, wouldn't it kind of make sense to have Danielle in a jury house where she can vote for you?
Yeah, that is smart, actually.
Because she's going to be a guaranteed vote for either Dan or Shane.
But see, I don't think she'll go up. I think Dan will go up.
Yeah.
And Shane will vote to evict Dan unless Danielle could convince him. But here's the thing. It's a double eviction, so you don't have too much time to politic.
No, you don't. It's a very quick week.
It's a very quick week. So you don't have all that time to say, okay, vote for this one, vote for that one. It's a quick reaction. And they kind of like that.
Yeah. But then we've had basically almost every week now has been a double eviction. It's kind of old hat now.
Yeah. What time are we going to find out when they do the ceremony?
They're supposed to be doing something right now because the feeds are on trivia, but we don't know exactly what's going on, if they're doing the replacement nomination and vote, or they're just doing the replacement nomination and then voting later, or because it was about, I want to say, an hour and a half, 2 hours ago that they started doing trivia. So it was probably about an hour ago when they actually started doing the veto ceremony and eviction.
Who would you like to see win?
Ian, of course. I mean,
you like him.
Why? Oh, he's awesome. Like, he's funny. He's weird. He's goofy. He's not the typical Big Brother person.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a real person. These other people are all these, models and actors and people that, the typical Big Brother producers want in the house.
Well, let's look at the
Ian
list.
is different from that mold.
Well, let's look at the list. Let's look at the people in there. Danielle is modeled, right? Yeah. She's a model. Dan is one. Jenn, obviously, part of the a huge girl metal band, Kitty. And Shane, I guess, is a carpenter, right? He doesn't really have any kind
house flipper and Basically, what he actually does, he does the house flipping stuff as a hobby, but he's really a beer truck driver. He delivers wine.
Really?
Yep.
That's not what they said on when.
Nope.
Yeah, fascinating, huh?
That's how Big Brother likes to distort things. Because house flipper sounds a lot better than a wine delivery boy.
Yeah, yeah. He's a truck driver. He delivers wine. I wonder what Ashley. Well, they didn't really specify Ashley either. They said she's a mobile spray tan operator, and you find out that weird stuff that she's into with the ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting group.
Do we want to go back and talk about the rest of POV comp? Because
yeah.
this is kind of interesting what they ended up doing with this POV comp.
Yeah.
Apparently, there were some prizes up for grabs. I don't know exactly what all the prizes were, who got what prizes. Basically, what I know is that Jenn got some sort of Scooby snacks that weren't slop, which is weird because she actually took the rest of the summer for slop in that other veto competition.
Oh, so she's not on slop anymore.
She's on slop, but she got something to eat other than slop.
Okay. And
then Shane won a mystery night out. And we didn't know what this could be at first. It was supposed to be, a night out with the biggest stars out of the summer. He ends up taking Danielle, and they went to this gymnastic exposition sponsored by Kellogg's with a bunch of the women's gymnastic Olympians.
Okay.
And so that was the whole thing. So we'll see that on Wednesday or Thursday. But they actually left the Big Brother house for this. They actually got to leave and go outside of the house to this event.
Huh.
Now, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, that I don't like that at all, that they got to leave.
Because generally, you're not allowed to leave that house for whatever reason.
Do we know this for sure, 100%, that they got to actually
100%.
leave?
100%. They were not in that house. Now, of course, I haven't watched all the seasons of Big Brother, so I don't know if this is the first time this has ever really happened, but I know it's very unusual.
Yeah,
and even Danielle was saying that it was very different going outside and then coming back.
Yeah, but why? See, this is the interesting. Why would they let them leave? That's the whole thing. They cannot leave.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that's kind of why couldn't they just have them come in and do something just for them?
Are we sure that they got to leave? I mean, are we sure of that?
They were not in the house.
Okay.
I don't know if they were still in
the premise,
the studio there.
Yeah.
But they were not in the house.
I mean, maybe they could have been in the studio.
It could have been in the studio. I don't know exactly where it was, but I know that it was outside of the house.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then any kind of information could be fed to them. Nobody knows.
Right, and that's why there was a lot of speculation whether or not the biggest stars would be some public event. Because this all had to be controlled by CBS as far as what information they get from these people. They could potentially overhear, because obviously they can't go in front of the press and have them ask them questions.
Very, very interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how they set it up on TV. But I am 100% sure that they were not in the house for at least 2-3 hours.
I don't know. I don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time. I mean, a lot of stuff is happening, and they're doing some bizarre things. So I can't really. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
Actually, I think they did have the veto meeting.
They did, and what happened?
I'm looking at the notes here.
Yeah. No, the notes are weird.
Was that not from
this
week?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
How does Dan nominate Danielle?
I don't know.
That's not from this week.
Maybe I wrote that wrong.
Yeah.
So I wrote that.
That's not from
I think
this
I
week.
meant Ian.
I don't think that's from this week.
I think it is. Let me double check.
I'll tell you right now. No, it's not from this week.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. No, because none of the sites are listing it. Right? Okay, here we go. 9 ceremony. Nomination. No, veto has not happened yet.
Okay.
Might be happening right now.
How did I put that up in there then?
Probably from the week before. So before we wrap it up, because it's a quick show today, and we have another show following this. What do you think is going to happen in the coming weeks?
Well, obviously, we're going to lose 2 people this week, so we're going to be down to our final 3 in basically 2 days. Wednesday, we'll see whoever goes home today, and then Thursday, somebody will be evicted live, so that just leaves us 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, at this point, it has to be every person for themselves. I mean, you can say final 2 all you want, but you really don't know how this next HOA is going to shape out.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be the defining factor of as far as how far these alliances will go. I mean, really, you could carry an alliance over into the next HOH until today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Once you're down to the final 3, you have the 3-part HOH. And it's going to be every person for themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the next couple of weeks, because it's so fast, we really have no idea what could possibly happen.
Well, it's gonna be really fast.
Listen, Danielle could win
2 days because we'll see 2 people go home, and we'll be down to the final 3 for the next 7 days.
Yeah,
listen, until the finale.
Danielle could get HOH.
Yeah,
I mean, anybody could get it. So, nominees have been done.
Just now.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane took himself off. Danielle and Jenn are up on the block.
So that was right.
You were right. Yeah, you just wrote it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they're definitely taping today for Wednesday's show.
Yeah, so Danielle is up. You were right. So, I don't know.
So who goes home, Danielle or Jenn?
Jenn, for sure. Because both Shane and Dan are going to keep them.
Well, then you almost set it up like Big Brother 12 with the brigade.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, one alliance.
It's not one alliance. People. It's not one alliance, and I'll tell you why. Because Dan will vote Shane out.
Well, of course, it's going to be every person for themselves, I said.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dan and Ian are the 2 smartest players in there right now.
Yeah.
Ian knows exactly what's going on and who needs to go. He knows he can't trust Dan.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Shane, on the other hand, will want to believe everybody.
Yeah. I think it'll be down to Danielle for sure. Danielle is definitely in the final 2 for me. And possibly Dan.
Oh, so you're going to change this again now?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, John. We'll wrap it up for today.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Nice quick recap of everything that happened in this Big Brother. Someone says Dan versus Danielle. Yeah, it could be Dan versus Danielle. It could be. Go to our website, guysfromqueens.com. If you miss any portion of the show, you can check it out there at gfknetwork.com. John, any plugs?
You can check out my music blog, Amadeus, AMADAIS.com. I like to post videos from YouTube from artists out there that are like amateurs, but they're freaking amazing that nobody's really ever heard of. It's Amadeus.com.
Excellent. Until next time, guys, we'll see you on next week on Big Brother Rewind. Good night, everybody.